So as new parent, it is so important not to lose the spark in your relationship. It can be so difficult at times when you have a child to find time for your significant other. For us, it has been a challenge. We didn't know what a challenge it would be until our baby girl was here. Finding time for each other was such a challenge, and we had to be intentional about it. And so today I wanted to do a video to let you guys know how we find time and how we spend quality time together, and perhaps it can help somebody if you are a new parent or are planning on becoming a parent.
So the number one thing that we do to spend quality time together as brand new parents is we love watching movies. And we loved watching movies before our baby daughter was born.
Yeah.
And we love watching movies now. It's just that it's a little bit more challenging than it was before.
Yes.
So for instance, we're getting used to watching movies with the closed captions turned on now.
Yes.
The reason being is that Proverbs will often want to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And the loud noises in the movies will obviously like wake her up and disturb her. And so we'll watch movies with the volume really, really low or even all the way silenced, and we'll just be reading the closed captions. I mean, at first I was like, oh man, this is a bummer. And you do miss out on some of the effect, admittedly. But you're still spending time together. So we love it. And the funny thing is, we did a special event just yesterday in the realm of movie watching and spending quality time together, because at a local theater very close to our house, less than 5 minutes away, they were showing a limited screening of E.T. the Extraterrestrial. And when we found out that that was going to be shown, we were like, oh, we've got to go. And I said, we're not going to find a sitter for Proverbs either. Proverbs is coming with us. Because when I was 2 years old, I saw E.T. in the movie theater, and it had such a profound impact on me, and it has for the rest of my life. Inspired me as a storyteller and just ignited my creativity. And so I wanted Proverbs to be able to experience some of that too, even though she's only 8 months and I was 2. But she did amazingly well, didn't she?
She did so good. She slept for half of the movie when we started. She slept for 30 minutes, and then she woke up, and for 20 minutes she was just sitting there listening to the music and was watching. She's like, where are we? She was trying to figure it out. But I was so impressed by her composure at the movie theater. She loves movie soundtrack, and so she was like dancing at one point to it. And so anyway, this is not about baby, but that is one of the ways we spend time together. Another way that we have found is really helpful for us as a family to spend time together is going on walks. You know, during the day we will take the baby in the stroller, and we will just, you know, head out and just take a little walk and have conversations here and there. And the baby loves being out, and so it allows us to, you know, talk as adults and just bond. You know, the little things here and there to us is so profound, because as parents, if you are looking for a major thing to happen, to be like, okay, I'm waiting for something big to happen for me to go on a vacation to do this, you might not be able to do it. So when you find time, utilize that time. The little things, if you are both not tired and you have the strength to be able to do something together, then make it work. So going on walks during the day, sometimes late in the afternoons, if we are not working, we find that time and make it work.
Yeah, even just 15 minutes, if you can find a way to connect, it actually makes a huge difference.
It does.
And just really helps to keep your relationship healthy. So the next tip that we have for you, new parents, is a really important one, and we can all relate to this one, because what does parenting do to mom and dad? It makes you tired. Yeah, it makes you exhausted, and it uses up most of your time, if not all of your time. So we're talking about even connecting for 15 minutes. You can see it's hard to fit everything in, even the most important things. And one of the most important things, obviously, for a married couple is to maintain intimacy. You have to find time to carve out somewhere. Even if it's just a brief window, like, okay, baby's down for a nap. Okay, let's do it.
Listen,
let's get busy.
Adults, okay?
I mean,
let's get busy.
Because time will just like click by, and all of a sudden you realize almost a week's gone by, and you're like, we haven't had the opportunity to be together and to be intimate. And so you don't want that to happen, because it's going to start causing your relationship to feel more like you're almost roommates. Yeah, ditto. Roommates. And then it starts to feel like a job too, because you're taking care of a tiny human being, and it's this enormous responsibility, and there can be a lot of pressure and frustration and eventually stress starts to build up. And then if you're not, again,
coming
together as husband and wife, that's just going to build on the frustration. And eventually your relationship is going to start to crumble here and there. And you may not even realize why, but that's a big factor. You want to carve out time for that in any way possible. Get creative. Normally it's when baby has fallen asleep.
Yes.
Because with her mom having gone back to Ghana, there's no other place for her to be except in the crib, sleeping, and so it's
but all we are trying to say is so important to find time for each other, find time to show each other that you love. You haven't forgotten the reason why you got married. Your child is important, but your spouse is also very important. So do not neglect your relationship because you have a child.
That's right.
Try and find ways to strengthen that relationship, even if it's kissing here and there, holding hands while you are watching a movie, holding hands while you are out. That is all a part of it. Once in a while, if he's in the kitchen or if you are in the kitchen, you just come and you hold each other just to express that, hey, I know that you are there. I love you. I'm sorry that our lives are so busy right now, but I acknowledge you.
And so the next tip that we have for you that we do our best to implement in our own marriage is to actually set aside time to go on deliberate and scheduled dates.
Yes.
And don't cancel these plans either if possible, because it's easy to cancel. It's easy to say we're too tired or baby is too needy or whatever. If you can make it work and make it a priority. If you've made a dinner date, let's say. And when you're out on dinner, let's put the tech away, right?
Yes.
Let's do a little tech fast and actually engage.
Enjoy each other's company.
And actually really get into each other's thoughts and be present and figure out, how is your spouse doing? How are you doing? How are you feeling? One of the last things we did before
my mom traveled.
Before her mom traveled back to Ghana was we went on one of these dinner dates. And we actually spent some time talking about, how is our marriage doing? How are we? How are you feeling? And what's on your mind? Because it's not always the right timing to talk about everything. And so those things stack up eventually if you don't have time to ever sit down and discuss these things. So we were deliberate about it. We set the phones aside. And it's especially hard for us because every occasion is an opportunity for content. And so, we're out at this dinner in front of this nice crackling fireplace and just the atmosphere is all around us. And we want to take pictures and we want to take videos for shorts and all these things. We're thinking about you guys all the time. And so we want content for you, but we have to say, okay, phones are off. We're setting them aside. Now we're actually going to engage and to take time and really investigate what's happening in the marriage so that we can reconnect. And we had such a lovely time. The food was delicious and the conversation was great. We felt like we came back and reconnected. We were recharged. And this is all about being better parents too. Not just maintaining the marriage, but you take care of yourselves first, the marriage first. And that makes you a stronger mom and a stronger dad and better able to be everything you need to be for your child. So date night is definitely something that is in our books. Even date day, if you can't find a sitter at night, then find someone in the morning if you are able to. Or if you are unable to even step out of the house for a date, you can bring the date at home. Cook a nice dinner, set the table, put flowers on the table, and when baby is sleeping or even when baby is not sleeping, find some activities for baby to interact with and then spend time together, having a dinner at home as if you were out on a date, just be present. And so another point that we have for you is getting the baby or the babies involved in some of your activities. It is very difficult to just say, oh, I'm going to do this and not have my child with me. So why not include the children? So create activities that allows both you and your partner to have fun and also allows the children to partake in it. Camping, I love camping. So imagine if I take my child camping, she's not only having fun, I'm having a ball, you know what I mean? So activities like that and cooking together as a family
I find that sometimes when I'm in the kitchen cooking and Ted is in there with me, helping me on some of the things I'm doing, it's a lot more fun. I'm like, okay, honey, you can do this for me, or you can help me with this. You can cut the onions, you know, and he doesn't mind. And so that is us finding time to spend together because our lives get so busy. So little activities that you can do with your children will actually help you realize that, hey, we've actually spent time together without realizing that we were spending time together.
That's right. And we have a gate partitioning off our kitchen right now because we don't want Proverbs crawling in there and opening up all the cabinets.
We baby-proof the house.
Yeah, we baby-proof the house. So I'll be in the kitchen helping her cook or clean usually. I'll be cleaning dishes while she's cooking. And so that's kind of how we team up. You know, and so Proverbs will get bored of maybe playing with her dolls or whatever she's doing, and she'll crawl up to the gate and stand there with her hands on the bars and like look at us. And so, you know, I'll pick her up because I can't say no to her. It's just impossible. So I'll pick her up, you know, and bounce her in my arms a little bit and show her what mommy's got on the stove, you know, and just kind of involve her because when it naturally is going to happen, you just have to embrace it. It's your life now. So, but you're still sharing in that moment. You're still cooking together, making it a moment together. You know, because I could be off doing my own thing and just letting my wife cook and just kind of ignoring her and, oh, dinner's ready, and I take my plate and I go back to what I was doing.
Some people do that.
Right. And sometimes we will do that if we need, you know, maybe a little space or something like that. But in terms of talking about connection, we definitely make it intentional that we spend time doing these things, even cleaning, even vacuuming. Proverbs loves the vacuum. You take the vacuum out and she screams in delight, and she'll be in her little car and she'll chase the vacuum, and we'll do it together. I mean, it sounds silly like vacuuming, but you do it together and you make it a moment where you're all connecting. And so as parents, you can't always pull away and not be mom and dad. Sometimes you just have to make your kids part of it, and so do that.
And I want to say that be very careful not to get frustrated with your life. You are single, okay, and then you got married, and now you have a child. You had all the time that you could afford to have. You could get up and then go anywhere you wanted to go. You could travel if you wanted to travel. And then all of a sudden there is another person to take care of. It can get frustrating when you do not have the chance to do what you like to do, you know. And so be very careful not to allow yourself to get frustrated. That is why we talk about the little things. We talk about going to the movies. We talk about going for walks. You'll be like, someone will say, man, those are just mediocre things. No, it sounds mediocre, but when you have a child or when you have children, they are very, very important and they're a vital part of your life. And so in order to continue feeling like you are experiencing some form of life, it's important that you don't get frustrated and you give yourself time and you give yourself the opportunity to experience life as it goes so that you can be mentally okay.
Well, these are just some of the things that we have been doing and practicing, and we hope that it's been helpful and illuminating, and maybe you're already doing some of these things, and maybe you're doing some things that we haven't yet discovered. Please let us know some of your top ways that you reconnect with your spouse as parents. We'd love to learn more. So thank you so much for
watching.
Always tuning in, watching. Don't forget to
like and to subscribe and to share this video. Share and like.
And we will see you next time.
See you next time. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.